Hard to say a game plan. I mean, it is a U.S. Open, right? Fairways and greens, hopefully two-putt and move on. I think it's deceptively wide, right? Those fairways look bigger than they play. So you still need to strike it really well to the green to be able to give yourself some looks at birdie. It's, like I said, it's a design that I like. It's makes you think. It's very intricate green complexes. You got to play the angles a little bit, and if you miss, especially if you miss the greens, you're gonna find yourself in some interesting spots to get up and down, right? So it's got everything. It's got all the ingredients to be a great week.
Jon, I know you tried to mostly not pay attention to the noise throughout this whole last couple of years, but with what happened last week, is there part of it that's almost a little bit freeing, knowing that player opinion just isn't really that important for the future?
I'm not sure I know how to answer to that. I think to an extent they value player opinion. They've certainly heard us throughout the whole process and in some of the issues. But we're certainly in a spot in time where there's a big question mark, right? Where we don't have the answers we would like, so it's hard to say. I like to think so. My belief in myself is the same. I haven't played my best golf the last two starts. I played really good at Memorial, just couldn't make the putts that I needed to keep the rounds going. But I still think I finished 16th in a really tough setup. Hit it really, really well. Obviously, PGA was a tough one. But yeah, I mean, my confidence level was very high. You have to have that belief in yourself as a competitor, right? No matter what happens. And you stick to the process. That's basically what I think is happened this year, right? Haven't really changed. There's no magic formula. I've just stuck to working on the things that I have to work on. And when you do the little things properly, eventually, scores come. And that's what happened to me this year, late last year and early this year.
Jon, a lot of you guys have talked about being clueless about last week's news and kind of what the future holds going forward. How frustrating is that?
I'm new to that, by the way.
Yeah. And how frustrating is that? And then what's the biggest thing that you would like to know, or what's the biggest unanswered question to you?
Well, there's a lot of not answered questions. And it's tough when it's, as a week before a major. I mean, I'm trying not to think about it as much as possible. I think it gets to a point where you want to have faith in management, and I want to have faith that this is the best thing for all of us, but it's clear that that's not the consensus, right? I think the general feeling is that a lot of people feel a bit of betrayal from management. I understand why they had to keep it so secret. I understand we couldn't make it through a packed meeting with more than 10 minutes after people spilling the beans right away and some article about you guys already being out there. So I get it. I get the secrecy. It's not easy as a player that's been involved like many others to wake up one day and see this bombshell, right? So that's where we're all in a bit of a state of limbo because we don't know what's going on, and I don't think how much is finalized and how much they can talk about either, right? So it's a state of uncertainty that we don't love, but at the end of the day, I'm not a business expert. Some of those guys on the board and involved in this are, so I like to think they're going to make a better decision than I would, but I don't know. We'll see. There's still too many questions to be answered. I was at home taking care of the kids. Yeah, no, I was just having my normal morning, making coffee and breakfast, and basically texts just started flowing in. I thought my phone was going to catch on fire at one point about so many questions that I just couldn't answer, right? That's basically what it was. I think it was that day at one point I told Kelly, I'm just going to throw my phone in a drawer and not look at it for the next 4 hours because I can't deal with this anymore. The state, I mean, to be honest, I think a little bit in my case is perspective. No matter what happens, whether I agree with it or not, thanks to the PGA Tour They give me a platform to play golf at the highest level. And after taking advantage of that possibility, I'm in a situation where my family and my kids won't have to struggle financially ever. And I don't know how many generations I can help if I do it properly. So I'm in a very high state of privilege in this world. I can do what I want. I can do what I love for a living. I have a blast every single day, even though I get mad on the golf course every once in a while. And when I start with that point of view, no matter what happens, I can only be thankful to what's going on. And if things change, things change. I mean, I'm just, I'll have to adapt to the situation. And, you know, if I have to make some decisions on what's going on forward, I'll have to make some decisions. But it's just not, at the end of the day, I'm extremely privileged, whether the PGA Tour and LIV Golf align or not, or who plays and who hates who or who likes who. It doesn't really matter, right? I'm happy with where I am in my life, and every day in the morning when I look at my kids, I'm even more blessed in that sense. So it's an easy way to forget about what's going on when I look at it that way, right? I can see where I came from in Spain, especially every time I see my parents. I remember where we came from and where I'm at. And to be honest, all those possible issues seem like a very, very small issue compared to other things in the world. So yeah, I just consider myself very privileged and, if anything, thankful to be where I am.
Jon, do you think the agreement that's been announced in the golf world gives hope to your desire that the best 12 players from Europe would be able to represent the Ryder Cup team regardless of PGA Tour, DP Tour?
I have no idea. I have no idea. It's, again, we have no clue. The only thing I can say at this point is I have faith in Luke Donald, and I have faith that Luke is going to do the best and he's going to try to make the best decision for Team Europe, right? And that's all I can do. At the end of the day, he's the captain and I'm not, and it's his ship to steer. So I have faith in my captain, and I'm hoping, not hoping, I'm sure we're going to end up with the best team we can end up with.
What's the one thing you do want to know?
I don't really care, to be fair. I really don't care at this point. There's just too much is going on. I think, like everybody, we just want some answers and basically know what the future looks like, and that's about it. I just want to know how it's going to look like, and that's about it. I don't really, like I said, I've gotten to the point where I don't care that much.